A local man was arrested Tuesday and charged with shooting into an occupied vehicle.
Agriculture remains the state's #1 business, and the local university reports a record number of students this fall.
It is still summertime in East Alabama, and the weather proves it. We'll have a summertime forecast coming up. And in sports, plenty of volleyball and football news to tell you. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
An Oxford man was arrested Tuesday afternoon in Gadsden and charged in what police are calling an isolated case of road rage that involved gunfire. The suspect has been identified as Tommy Jr. Smith of Oxford, who faces charges of assault in the first degree and shooting into an occupied vehicle. Gadsden police say they were called to the intersection of Rainbow Drive and Lakewood Drive at 3:17 Tuesday afternoon and found a woman suffering from a gunshot wound. Immediate medical care was provided while officers initiated an investigation into the incident. The investigation revealed that a male suspect had fired at the victim from his vehicle, identified as a Jeep truck, before fleeing the scene in the direction of I-759. A description of the truck was sent to surrounding law enforcement agencies, and it was stopped by the Rainbow City Police Department a short time later without incident. Smith was taken into custody, and police say the injuries to the victim were not life-threatening.
A Rainbow City man was killed Tuesday morning in a 3-car crash on Interstate 59 in Trussville. Officials identified the victim as Joseph Allen Phillips. He was pronounced dead at the scene of that accident near the Chalkville Mountain Road exit. 3 other people were injured and were taken to local hospitals for treatment. State troopers are investigating the cause of that accident.
Jacksonville State University has broken its enrollment record for the 4th year in a row. University officials announced today that fall enrollment for 2024 is 9,955 students, an increase of 283 from last year's record. Jack State President Don Killingsworth credits his faculty and staff for the continued growth. In addition to increased enrollment, the university saw a rise in credit hour production, with 2,663 more credit hours produced compared to fall 2023.
When we return, how do you know where your sweet potatoes are coming from?
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Getting my car serviced is easier than ever with Buster Miles Automotive Group in Cleburne and Calhoun County. They pick up my car, service it, and deliver it back. Convenient, efficient, and top quality. Schedule your service today and see why Buster Miles Automotive Group is the smart choice.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Rick Pate, Alabama's Commissioner of Agriculture, told the Calhoun Chamber this morning that farming remains the state's #1 industry. Pate, whose office oversees food production and safety, said 1 out of every 4.5 jobs in Alabama is related to agriculture, and the industry provides jobs for more than 600,000 workers. He said his office also serves the state's consumers, keeping the sources of the food supply chain transparent. Before he took office, he said, customers had no way of knowing for sure what they were buying was from Alabama.
I'm going to tell you a secret. It's not a secret, but people don't know it. But you can drive to Finley Avenue in Birmingham, over there by Leading Fields, north of 2059, Every day it opens at 2 a.m. and get there about 2:33. Load your truck up with tomatoes from Mexico, with strawberries from Arizona, with watermelons from California. Drive back to Anniston, put you some overalls and a straw hat on and sit on the side of the road, and people think they're buying local food.
With help from the state legislature, Pate said that his department worked with several public and private groups to create a program known as Sweet Grown Alabama. Its mission is to provide reliable information about the real source of foods.
It was so helpful that we have that database in that phone. If you go in there and put sweetgrownalabama.org, it'll ask you what you're looking for. You put sweet potatoes, because I know you can find sweet potatoes, and then it'll ask you zip code, and it'll go find you the local closest sweet potato that's near Calhoun County.
When we come back, 2 homecoming celebrations are planned for this week.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Anniston High School's homecoming parade is scheduled for Thursday, and plans call for downtown sections of Noble Street to be closed to traffic from approximately 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. The closure will affect the blocks from 8th Street all the way to 18th Street. The parade starts at 5 p.m. at 18th Street, and the day's festivities will conclude with a community pep rally at Lott Mosby Stadium following the parade.
The JSU Homecoming Parade is set to begin Saturday morning at 9. It will start from the south end of the public square and head north on Pelham Road. To promote safety and ensure a clear path, parking on the public square will be prohibited from 6 Saturday morning until the parade ends. Vehicles parked on the square during that time will be subject to being towed.
And you know, they've altered that parade route just a little bit. It's actually a little north of where it normally starts. So It's right there on the square this year.
It's interesting, I guess, with all the work they're doing around Jacksonville, maybe it was a good idea to move it a little farther north.
Makes sense, but the question is, will it be parade weather?
Well, I think John Holder, who is standing by in the EAN Weather Center, has the answer to that question.
Mike and Katie, not only Saturday, but the rest of the work week and the entire weekend going to bring more of the same. Summertime weather remains in place across East Alabama. The complete forecast details are coming up next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
It is the 18th of September, and the weather is exactly where it should be for the 18th of September here in East Alabama. Average high, 85. High today, 85. Average low, 64. Low this morning, right there at 65 degrees. Record high temperature, 98 degrees back in 2019. The record low, 43. The sun rising tomorrow morning at 6:30, and the sun setting on your Wednesday night at 6:45. Wednesday night weather on your street. Going to take you out to Little Brant Drive on McClellan. Some areas of fog again late. Not a lot around East Alabama, but you could see some fog out there around McClellan. Otherwise, nice and pleasant overnight tonight. Very comfortable temperatures. Low tonight at 63. Coming up on your Thursday, more of the same. Plenty of sunshine, dry weather. What you're going to notice, temperatures rising. Still, really a good time to go to Germania Springs in Jacksonville. A little creek that runs through there. Maybe do a little wading out there. It's going to be 88 degrees tomorrow in Jacksonville and all across East Alabama. Certainly a little bit above normal as far as temperatures go for the next several days. As we look ahead to the start of the weekend on Friday, if anything, the temperatures are going to continue to be very summer-like. We're talking upper 80s on Dwight Avenue in the Alabama City area of Gadsden. Get ready for these last couple of days of summertime and the first couple of days of fall to be very summer-like all across our region. Here's the 7-day forecast. Again, no chance of rain in the forecast for the next several days. There's always the chance this time of year that we could have a less than 10% chance of a shower, but we're not putting that in our formal forecast because we are going to be really high and dry. 88 for the high tomorrow, 89 on Friday for high school football, 90 degrees for the high on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the last day of summer. Sunday morning, 7:44 is when autumn begins, and we'll be at 90 degrees on both of those days. The dry weather continues into the early part of next week as we'll have temperatures still in the mid to upper 80s. Our next chance of rain, not until about the middle of part of next week, and even then, only about a 1 in 3 chance of a shower. Nighttime lows remaining in the 60s, low to mid 60s, very pleasant and comfortable for the next week or so all across East Alabama. Well, as long as we have this in place, our weather is not going to change much. That is a big H sitting right here in what we would call the Mid-South region, kind of the heart of the Mid-South region. That H is sitting right on top of Memphis, Tennessee, and that is keeping any rain to our north or down to the south. And here in the entire SEC country, if you will, the entire South, we are high and dry. Until something changes with this area of high pressure, we are going to remain high and dry for the next several days. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll have your Thursday morning day at a glance, bright and early at 6 a.m. And I'll be back here tomorrow night for EAN Local News as we look at the weekend forecast for all of East Alabama. Coming up next in sports, lots of high school volleyball and high school football news to tell you about. That's next.
Getting my car serviced is easier than ever with Buster Miles Automotive Group in Cleburne and Calhoun County. They pick up my car, service it, and deliver it back. Convenient, efficient, and top quality. Schedule your service today and see why Buster Miles Automotive Group is the smart choice.
Hey, good Wednesday evening to you. John Holder with you with EAN Sports, filling in for Jordan Smith on this Wednesday night. We are going to begin talking about a big night again of high school volleyball all across the region. And we're going to take you for the first time down to Hope Christian School in Oxford. The brand new Hope Saints having a volleyball match last night, hosting Restoration Academy out of Birmingham. Of course, this is the relatively new private school that is a member of the AISA, located on Friendship Road in Oxford. Last night in 2 sets, they defeated Restoration Academy. We were there to get the highlights. 25-18, the Saints win the first game. The second game, 25-7. Congratulations to the Hope Christian Saints on their big volleyball win last night down in Oxford on Friendship Road against Restoration Academy coming over from Birmingham. That was not all of the volleyball action that took place last night across the region. Let's go to our volleyball scoreboard. Weaver last night beating Randolph County. Donahoe also won an area game as they beat Walter Wellborn last night at Donahoe. Ohatchee went to Rainbow City for a tri-meet at Westbrook Christian, and they swept the tri-meet, beating host Westbrook Christian and also Asheville. Another big area match last night was up in Cherokee County, where Ohatchee went to Sandrock and beat the Wildcats in area play. Alexandria wins another big area match last night on the road at Oaks Bluff. The only folks around East Alabama that, as far as Calhoun County goes, that did not win last night, Oxford had that long road trip for an area match at Fort Payne. Oxford fell to Fort Payne in that match, but for the rest of Calhoun County, a very successful night on the volleyball front. Speaking of success in volleyball, the Alabama High School Athletic Association puts out a volleyball spotlight every week, selecting some of the top performances in all classifications from around the state of Alabama. And they spotlighted one player from right here in East Alabama. That was Callie Taylor from Donahoe. in 7 matches last week. Those 7 matches, Donahoe went 6-1, and she was a big part of that. 144 assists, 29 digs, and 10 aces in those 7 matches that Donahoe won last week. They were 6-1, as we said, including winning their own invitational tournament that they hosted. Now, the Alabama High School Athletic Association also, they do this for football as well, selecting some of the very top performances in the state, regardless of classification. We had a few football players from East Alabama recognized by the AHSAA. Oxford quarterback Mason Mims, 11 of 18 passing, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns as the Yellow Jackets won over Pinson Valley last week down at Lamar Field, 40-7. Westbrook Christian quarterback Brody Blevins been putting up some big numbers in a losing effort in the rain and storms over at Locust Fork last week. They lost the game 47-43, but Blevins did his part. He rushed for 273 yards and 4 touchdowns, and also 7 of 12 passing in that monsoon over at Locust Fork for 46 yards. Also in the AHSAA Prep Spotlight, Hoax Bluff quarterback Bryce Whitaker rushed for 110 yards, a pair of touchdowns, contributed 54 additional passing yards as Hoax Bluff beat White Plains on homecoming last week over at the Bluff, 31-0. Ohatchee wide receiver Braden Collins, his team lost in that monsoon over in Bluntsville and Blount County in a tough 31-27 loss to J.B. Pennington. But again, he did his part, an incredible 12 catches for 194 yards and 2 touchdowns. And finally, in the AHSAA Prep Spotlight, Coosa Christian's Zayden Franklin getting it done on the defensive side of the ball. He collected 8 tackles, 6 of which were for losses. He had 3 sacks as well in the Conquerors' 42-0 win over Falkville last Friday afternoon up in Morgan County at Falkville as the Coosa Christian Conquerors beat the Falkville Blue Devils. Now, let's take a look at the local teams in the ASWA football poll that just came out today. In Class 6A, Oxford staying at number 5, Gadsden City remaining at number 7. Anniston jumps up a spot in Class 4A to number 8. Piedmont also up 1 spot from number 5 to number 4 in Class 3A. Coosa Christian remains at number 5 in Class 2A. And in Class 1A action, Spring Garden actually jumping 2 spots up to number 6 in Class 1A. They're getting ready for a top 10 showdown and a big area championship type game with Valley Head coming up this weekend at Valley Head. That's going to do it for sports. Mike and Katie close out EAN Local News now.
Thanks for the update, John, and thank you for watching today. You can find us every weeknight on Facebook and YouTube, our website, and now on Rumble.
Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you. We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.